From concept to prototype to the action figure in the store. We're going to tell you all about it. Welcome back to the Junk Room, everybody. It's me, the Junkman, coming back with a special video for you. This is going to be a new video series, but it's going to be for you Patreon supporters already. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're saying, hey, Junkman, I'm watching this and I'm not a member of Patreon. What's going on? What are you talking about? Are you a damn fool? Well, the first episode, I decided to release it to you all. So maybe more of you would want to see more. More of you want to see more. Anyway, so if you want to be a Patreon supporter and you want to see the rest of this series, then click the link up here or down there. So if you enjoyed this video and want to see more, just become a Patreon supporter. But what is this video exactly? Well, we're going to look at a Star Wars action figure from concept to prototype to final release. We're going to look at the plans they had for the figure, the prototypes for the figure, the final result, and the packaging and cards once released. So let's start this video by taking a look at one of everyone's favorite action figures there is, Darth Vader. Great action figure and great character. So let's go back when Kenner got the rights to make Star Wars toys. As you can see here, the blueprint for the Darth Vader action figure. This was more used to give the Kenner designer the look and the make that they needed for the figure. There's notes on this blueprint that tell designers the colors they needed for the action figure, such as yellow and white, and I'm guessing a lot of black. If you look closer at the blueprints, you'll see that the lightsaber hilt is a lot different than the final release, a lot more detailed. It's easier for an artist doing a blueprint to get a lot more detailed than it would be for a Kenner designer, especially at this time period. Around May of 1977, a prototype action figure was ready. This is an action figure of Darth Vader. As you can see here, it looks a lot different than the final release. Almost looks like the Gordon Fisherman, doesn't it? Also, on the back of the figure, he had a little crank. Turning the crank, the lightsaber would come out of his hand. As you can see here, the lightsaber was very bent. It looks almost like fishing string or something, just a little thicker. So that design was killed. Now the president of Kenner wanted the lightsabers to have a magical feel to it. Wanted them to kind of shoot out the hand, appear magically, like they do in the film. This prototype of Darth Vader here was taken from, like many, a Fisher-Price Adventure People action figure. Although I didn't confirm it, I believe it might be an Astronite. So that's a look at the blueprints and then the prototype used for Darth Vader. And you can see here it went through many changes before its release. Let's look at the first official release of Darth Vader. This one here is Darth Vader with the extended lightsaber. Telescoping lightsaber, if you will. As any of you that have Star Wars figures know, Darth Vader's lightsaber slid out of his hand, and then at the end of that lightsaber was a little tip. Now the early release of Darth Vader, that tip would also slide out, making the lightsaber almost double the length of the original release. It's often described as the double tip lightsaber or double telescoping lightsaber. These are very rare to find, especially on the card, extremely rare. Vader, Luke, and Obi-Wan all came with this extended lightsaber. Luke was the easiest to find since he was in the early bird set with it also, although still extremely rare. It's not as rare as Vader and Obi-Wan. And finding those on card with the extended lightsaber is almost extremely rare. So quickly after the release of the extended lightsaber, Darth Vader went through a change where the double tip action of the lightsaber was removed. This is the standard release of Darth Vader that we got from 1978 all the way to 1985. The very first package of Darth Vader was released in 1978. As you can see here, it's Darth Vader on the Star Wars card, kind of a purple lightsaber, and the Darth Vader figure packed with inside. Although hard to tell, he is standing on a small piece of cardboard at the bottom, and he comes with a lightsaber pulled into his hilt. In 1980, Darth Vader was moved over to the Empire Strikes Back card, where the figure stayed the same, and the photo on the card stayed the same also. Really no changes here except for the card itself. And then, with the release of Return of the Jedi, they saw Darth Vader cross over to that card logo. Here again, everything stays basically the same. But then, during the release of the Return of the Jedi line, Darth Vader gets an update, at least his card. The figure is the exact same from 1978, but now it's the Darth Vader pointing card photo. If you ask me personally, I like the one that shows Darth Vader seen from the movie, where this one looks like some kind of promotional shot of Darth Vader pointing at you. I'd much rather see Darth Vader in action with his lightsaber. Oddly enough, in 1985, Darth Vader's original photo returned for the Power of the Force card, while the pointing Darth Vader photo wasn't used for the Power of the Force is really unknown. Now, Darth Vader did appear also in the trial logo card as seen here with the original with lightsaber action scene photo, like the other releases. The pointing Darth Vader only got released on a Return of the Jedi card. And that is a look at Darth Vader from concept to prototype to release. I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't worry, we're going to do a whole new figure, but just for Patreon supporters. So if you want to support this channel, head over to patreon.com. Links up there and links down there. Become a Patreon supporter. Not only do you get great exclusive content over there, but you also get to help the junk room. Help makes everything better. So it's not like your support's going to waste. You'll get some exclusive stuff, and I'll be able to make all this better. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back very soon.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.